story title: The Boy Who Chased the Wind. The village of Karanpur sat at the edge of the desert, where the earth turned gold and the air shimmered with heat. Every afternoon, a strong wind swept through the dunes, lifting sand into the sky like a storm of light. People called it the Whispering Wind. They said it carried the voices of travelers who never returned. But to a boy named Ishan, the wind wasn't something to fear, it was something to chase. Ishan was only 10, small for his age but full of wonder. Every day he'd run barefoot across the sand dunes, laughing as the wind pushed against him. One day, he'd shout, "I'll find where the wind begins." His mother would shake her head and smile. "The wind has no beginning, my son. It only carries those brave enough to follow it." His father, a quiet carpenter, didn't share her amusement. "Dreams are for fools," he'd say, "stay home and work. The world beyond the dunes has swallowed stronger men than me." But Ishan couldn't forget the sound of the wind, wild, free, alive. One summer evening, a terrible sandstorm swept through Karanpur. The sky turned dark, and the wind howled like an angry spirit. When the storm passed, the villagers found that several water barrels had been swept away, including the one belonging to Ishan's family. Without water, they wouldn't last the week. Ishan overheard his parents arguing that night. His father wanted to go to the next village to buy water, but the road was too dangerous. His mother wept quietly. Ishan couldn't sleep. He stared at the moonlight spilling through the cracks of their roof and whispered, "If the wind can take, maybe it can also give." Before dawn, he packed a small bag, some bread, a flask, and his father's old compass. Then he left a note. "Don't worry, Ma. I'm going to find the Whispering Wind and ask it to bring our water back." He walked for hours, then days. The desert stretched endlessly, and the wind grew louder. By the third day, his lips were cracked, his feet bleeding, and his water gone. He wanted to give up, but then he heard it, a whisper. Not like the howling wind, but soft, almost human. "Why are you here, little one?" Ishan froze. I'm looking for the wind. My family needs water." The whisper turned into laughter, not cruel, but deep and echoing. "You're brave. But courage without wisdom burns like fire." Ishan's eyes filled with tears. "Then teach me!" The wind replied, "You already know what you need. Look within you, not around you." The storm rose again, and Ishan fainted. When he woke, it was evening. He was lying beside a small oasis, its water clear and shining under the stars. Next to him was his bag, the compass pointing north, as if guiding him home. He filled his flask, drank deeply, and whispered, "Thank you." It took him 2 days to return. The villagers were searching for him when they saw a small figure in the distance. Walking against the wind, carrying a flask of water, his mother cried and held him tight. His father fell silent. Then, for the first time in years, the man smiled. "You found what I couldn't," he said. Ishan shook his head. "No, father. The wind found me." From that day on, the people of Karanpur told the story of the boy who chased the wind. Years later, when Ishan grew up, he built wells across the desert guided by the same compass and the memory of that whisper. When asked what gave him the courage, he always said, "Courage doesn't mean you aren't afraid. It means you walk forward even when fear is stronger." Moral of the story: courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to keep going despite it. True bravery lies not in conquering the world, but in believing that your heart can carry you through the storm.